really want to get into kids that are now either in high school or about to finish high school,
Yeah.
and and what's happening now with them being really lost and confused, and the identity crisis that's happening. Talk a little bit about that.
I mean, like kids are getting lost now because of their friends. Like they're easily influenced by their friends, and also, like when they drop out of school, is because the teachers don't really understand like who they are,
Yeah,
and the parents don't understand who they are as well. They just want to raise them like, hey, there's food on the table, you got shelter, but they don't check up on them. Like
okay,
our parents don't check up on us. They don't ask us how we're doing, things like that. So just like my parent might have spoken about,
yeah,
like prior. So just things like that, like they're very important, but we tend to like ignore them, like they don't really mean shit,
yeah.
but they're critical.
Yeah, little things like that, definitely.
Yeah. So just that identity crisis between like being from back home and being Australian, and also like at school,
Yeah,
like what kind of subjects that they want to do, what kind of electives that they want to do, and then they get forced to like pick the other subject, or they might tell them, oh, you can't do specialist maths, you can't do math methods, it's too hard for you. Like, who the fuck you think you are to like tell me what I can't do? Because
Yeah.
I know I can do it.
yeah.
So just things like that, and then the student or the kid, right, will be like, man, this school shit is not for me, because like I know I can do it, but they're telling me I have to take like further maths,
Yeah.
I have to take like ESL and shit.
Do you think, with what you just said then, how maybe our parents, don't give them enough support, or are not there for them as much? Do you feel like their last hope of trying to get that is from their teachers, and their teachers do that and turn their back on them, and then they, react to that? Do you think that's why some of the kids are like, man, no one understands me?
Yeah, that's like that's one of the major sayings as well.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, no one really understands me, but we do. But you're not opening up to us. So
Yeah.
how are we supposed to understand you if you don't speak up, if you don't say what's on your mind? And that's a really big barrier as well. Communication within like
Yeah.
our community and our families, or with friends. Like they'll chop it up with their friends, like on the streets, on the outside. But once they come home, they're not gonna really speak to their parents because there's an age gap. Like that's a very big factor as well,
Yeah.
because they're growing up in a very different environment, and our parents have that old school way of like raising kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Like they do by the book, but like you gotta let the kid be a free spirit, make his mistakes just like you made your mistakes.
Yeah.
You learn through that, and experience is like the best teacher, I believe.
Definitely.
So guide them through the mistakes, but don't let it become like a habit where it just becomes repetitive. Because now it becomes part of who they are. They're gonna keep making these mistakes, and it's gonna be hard to like adjust.
Yeah. You talked about miscommunications with older people because there's the age gap. You have younger siblings. I have younger siblings.
Yeah.
It feels like it's hard for them to try come up to us and ask us for help, or ask us, for advice. But they rather do it with people their age who probably don't know any better than they are, and they get the advices from there.
Yeah, because they feel more comfortable like addressing their peers.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is, like why they feel more comfortable, but it's the fact that like they give each other like false feedback.
Yeah.
Like they encourage each other like negatively.
I feel like as well, they know the truth, they know what's right, but they want to hear what's wrong, because
Yeah.
if you come up, like if my younger brother comes up to me and says, hey, I'm 15 years old, what do you think about smoking weed or whatever? I'm like,
Yeah.
he knows that that's not right.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't come up to me and talk about that.
No.
Or he wouldn't think that I know that he's either doing any of that, either drinking or whatever he's getting up to.
Yeah.
Both, I'm assuming. Because
But we know they're doing that though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's another thing I feel like, everyone starts at that age. Not everyone, but anyone that starts doing stuff is around that age.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing that they're finding hard to come up to us. Do you reckon that's one thing that we need to improve and try kind of talk to them about and say, hey, look, I know what you guys are doing. Let's just try see how you could.
Yeah. I mean, like we have to be comfortable with these kind of conversations, you know, and be like, look, you can do this, but don't go as far as that,
Yeah, definitely.
because when you get to that, then you're lost.
Yeah.
You can't bounce back no more. Like, but
That's really important. You said we have to get comfortable talking about these conversations. You know, that's definitely a thing where, like, because they think that, because I think like you were talking about before, how our parents are stuck in the ways of how it's like back home, where drinking and smoking is just a sin completely.
completely, yeah.
You know, but then here to have a culture where people are going out on a weekday, you know, throughout for uni, and it's just normal, so normalized here. I think it's up to us as the first generation to have these conversations and feel comfortable having these conversations with these next generation,
Yeah,
and make them feel like we understand you, like whatever you're going through, I had to go through that myself.
yeah. Just like you said, we have to get used to being uncomfortable with these kind of conversations,
Yeah,
and normalize it, because you know, if we speak about something that you're not comfortable with, it means eventually you're gonna be comfortable with it.
yeah, definitely.
Like, in due time. So just like speak up, ask the question, because we don't know everything,
Yeah,
but we're definitely gonna find an answer to it. So, with our parents, just being able to guide us and help us in that way, I mean, like it speaks volumes. And just with the communication aspect, like we have to actually like be cool with that.
yeah. What do you think the relationship is with the kids and the parents? Because I know some parents are, you know, either overprotective,
Yeah.
you know, a bit strict. What have you noticed in our community with the parents, and what needs to change?
I don't think it's like the change part. Like, I mean, it needs to like change, but it doesn't have to change like dramatically. You can be small change, because small change is better than no change at all.
Yeah,
So if we just tell the parents, or like tell the kids to be more open, and inform the parents where they're gonna be, their whereabouts,
yeah,
their plans, what they're doing, just little things like that. Keep them updated. Always give them a phone call, say where you are. I think that makes a very big change,
yeah,
because like as a young kid, you're like, oh, I don't want to call my mom, like she's gonna drag it, like, well, where you are, things like that. But at the end of the day, like, just for her to know you're good, you're safe, like she's gonna sleep.
yeah,
But if she doesn't hear your voice, doesn't know where you are, she's gonna be up all night just thinking, oh, where's Deng,
yeah,
is it safe? And like PTSD, or trauma, or anxiety, depression. And then because we're not doing good ourselves, we bring all those things towards our parents.
yeah,
And then now they have to get diagnosed. They have, they're going through all these medical sicknesses and so on. But we don't really understand that we actually like, we have a part in that.
definitely. And like what you said there, we do. They feel like, oh, I don't want to call my mom now because she's gonna get angry at me, or she's gonna do this, or she's just gonna be. She's
Yeah.
gonna kill my mood.
Yeah.
But that's completely false. Like, even for me as an older brother, like that would never kill my mood at all.
Yeah.
That's something that I want at all costs. Like, I want you to be like, hey, Bo, I don't know if this can kill your mood. I know this is late, but I'm just gonna be doing this.
Yeah.
That assurance is the most important thing, and I think we need to do more of that.
Yeah, like as a teenager, you need to like reassure, like, your guardians, your parents,
Yeah.
of everything, just so they can have like a peace of mind, because we bounce them around so much, like,
Yeah.
with the worry.
Yeah.
Like, as a kid, you don't want your parents ever to be worried,
Yeah.
but if you keep them worried, like worry does a lot. Like, there's psychological research that
Yeah.
someone that's like always concerned and worried and anxious, like ends up being depressed and so on.
Yeah.
But so just things like that, we have to like take into account
For sure.
as the generation that comes up that really understands all different aspects, whether it's like school, work, the corporate world, just like mental health and so on. Like, we know all these things, but we're not really like speaking up. We're not really opening up about it, because the conversation is uncomfortable for you or for myself. Why can't we just chop it up? Or why can't we just sit together and address it and just come to like common ground and be like, hey, look, it's cool to like, to talk about this.
Yeah. What do you think we should do as other parents or older, siblings? What should we do more of? What should we get more used to?
We gotta get more used to like being there for the younger ones, being there for the older ones as well, the ones that think they know it all, the ones that don't know anything, being there for the parents, educating the parents as well, educating the little ones, and just raising awareness for our own community. For example, like when we all get together and there's like an event, right? Where we get together on always bad vibes, on negative vibes, like whether we get together as of death, like maybe we're congregating together because of like a negative situation, somebody's passed away, or we get together because there's a wedding, or maybe there's a graduation, or maybe there's just like someone is sick and they've been like in a coma or something. So we just have to change that narrative and get together actually as a group, as a community, and just chop it up, like talk, plan out some stuff, like things for the future. But we've made that so uncomfortable that it's not even possible. Like whenever somebody brings it up, hey, we have this event going on, like come through, people will people won't even share it, they won't even like publish it because it's connected with a negative vibe. Because at the end of the day, like whenever there's like a good event, people will always bring the negativity towards it, and it's always going to end up in violence. You know what I mean?
That's very, very important, man. And, before we get to that part, I want to talk about how you talked about, when we do get together finally, is for a negative event. That is very, very true as well. And as sad as it is to say, but that's just basically what's been happening lately. And that's not good. And that's probably the reason why we are coming together for negative events, is because we're not coming together regardless of what the event is, but to be with each other and to be a community. Which is very sad. So I think us as older people, we think we're doing it, but we're not. We need to be there more. I definitely think we need to be there more and educating our parents, definitely, and the older people. And then when you talked about